The city of Villestown, the proud capital of the land of UPA, a peaceful, harmonious, prospering place full of folks from all walks of life, where toonkind mingle with real kind, and the streets are filled with the happy chatter of the contented populace. Until now, after disaster struck in the late hours of the previous day, when the prestigious journey of the taffy train cross-continental ended in a calamitous, but visually impressive, candy-coloured explosion, the news of this event travelled into the city that rarely sleeps in a shockwave of fear, sadness, and overall confusion. How had this tragedy come to pass? Could it really be, as reported by witnesses on board, that the beloved actress Dorothy Scale had turned on her adoring toonkind fans and murdered a native UPAan? Who was going to clean up all that bubblegum? And furthermore, where was the bird behind the locomotive's motive? The currently missing one-of-a-kind movie maker, the engineer. With a few exceptions, toonkind are a joyful, peaceful, loving, and forgiving breed of people on the whole. But strange things are happening in Inkwell, and while initial responses were that of open-minded curiosity and a healthy heaping of grief, quickly there come a slew of rapid and rabid accusations. Vitriolic claims are fired off, and fingers point in all directions. Witnesses say things that they renounce almost immediately, only for the papers to have printed it before they can blink. Reporters report reports that dance aside of Dora, and instead lambast the company that made the train, the staff aboard it, for cutting corners. But most of all, they tar and feather the already feathered engineer for his fault in the proceedings, despite the director still being missing, presumed exploded. After a mere 24 hours, the city is a roiling mass of bewilderment and blind rage. What has come over this colourful and compassionate city? Is there nobody who still has a head on their shoulders? But yes, there is one stalwart defender of the truth out there, that up-and-coming shooting star of the press, Lieutenant Remy. That plucky reporter and his faithful four-legged friend Winter will surely get to the bottom of this case. And here he comes now, striding down the flat-panelled sidewalk of Main Street towards his humble apartment to write up his own findings.
Great snakes, Winter. This whole mess is worse than I thought. Not only could I not interview any of our witnesses, but I almost felt like the entire station was falling apart under our noses. Even had to stop that gag officer from destroying the film. Speaking of noses, you still got that sneeze, poor boy. Something was up with those people. I've never felt so stuffed up in my life. Still, you're right about that officer. Toons normally remember their gags, and he said he'd have never attempted something like that with a case this serious. I know I couldn't forget almost dropping a set of film reels into a wood chipper. Curiouser and curious. I'm telling you, Luton, something smelled rotten back there. As the plucky reporter unlocks the door to his home, he reassures his canine friend. Don't worry, Winter. We're almost to our apartment, and you can rest your nose while I try to bring some sense to this whole news cycle. Luton sits down at his desk, lining up the paper and checking the thread in his trusty typewriter in order to commence writing up his groundbreaking article.
That's the spirit, Luton. But wait, what's this? Someone is listening in at the window. The figure of a half-orc lady, surely. But no, while her acting career might have been a bust, it was enough to give the devious diva, Dorothy Scale, sufficient proficiency in the use of a disguise kit, for it is she who is listening in at the window, hovering there upon her enchanted flying bicycle, her reanimated dog Otto sitting quietly in the basket. What nefarious naughtiness of a nasty sort can she be brewing now?
So, the world's eternal Boy Scout thinks he can put a pin in my perfectly constructed panic plan. Wait, why am I alliterating? Was someone narrating this?
Oh, well, it is my job, you see, and
Enough of this stupid, silly, toonkind city! You want to break fourth walls? I'll break all your walls by breaking all the hearts in this town. I'll destroy more faith, more futures, and more importantly, more tunes. So right away, Mr. Nitwood Luton, because I'll get you and your little dog too.
Ye gods, alas, and oh no! The Wicked Witch of the West End casts her magic through the open window, and a dazzling ruby-red dust falls over the hard-working hero and his faithful canine companion. But has the suggestion spell done its dirty work, or will his will save hold out?
Initially, it seems like Luton Remy has the strength to stand firm in the truth. In the midst of this grief-stricken panic, the actual evidence from this catastrophe is... But the half-elf's weakness to sleep and dream seems to overtake him as the red powder shows no mercy and his fingers begin to start robotically typing. Is stacking up. Winter. Oh, Beck, it smells back again, Luton. Against the engineer, the cowardly director of base bank robberies and terrible train tales. Wait, what? That's not right. Hey, I say, stop that, Luton? Even in the midst of his sneezing fit, the dog can tell something has gone wrong with his two-legged friend, and Winter stumbles to his feet. Witness statements from those on the train. Wait, we didn't get the... And the film brought in from the horrid attempt at a movie corroborates suspicions. Wait. The sneezing is back, and he isn't acting like himself. Snap out of it. Luton, listen to me. Luton! With solid proof of the engineer's crimes, be it by intent or neglect, he isn't listening to me. It sounds like he's wrapping up faster than he normally would, too. Sorry, Luton. This is going to hurt you more than me. With a snap of the teeth, the dog has bitten the owner of the hand that feeds him right on the bum. With an uncharacteristic flash of anger, the reporter snaps back. Get off me, you brutish little mongrel. I was going to finish and send... But the dog's ploy has worked because recognition and awareness filter back into the boy's eyes. I was going to send my report without proofing? Luton pulls out the paper from the typewriter and sinks to the floor as he looks upon his own false accusations with horror. Great snakes, what have I done? Cockily, the little dog replies, well, actually, it's almost done, Oh, pal. Oh, Winter, you saved me, didn't you? Stars above, that's what happened to the police too, isn't it? You're getting some magic up your nose, like a suggestion spell, and that's why you're sneezing. The reporter scrambles back to the typewriter, sore bum and all, and starts typing away with clarity and precision, unlike his robotic typing from mere moments before. Frantically, he explains, if someone is making people act against their will, that explains all of the false reporting going around. We have to warn people. This time, without a sneeze to be had, Winter hops into Luton's lap and observes the typing with a doggy grin. Hopefully with some proofreading this time, and actual proof, eh? Even in the midst of this case cracked like an egg, and the yolk running through the streets of Villestown, Luton can't suppress the urge to give his old friend one grateful pat and a sheepish smile. You'll make sure of that, won't you, chap? As our powerhouse of truth in both boy and dog resume typing, outside, unseen, Dora clenches her teeth in frustration.
Curses! And I'm all out of them! Why are spell slots so easy to burn through? Well, I've used them widely and wisely. There's enough damage done that nobody will pay attention to one wet behind the ears teen reporter's account of events. Go ahead then, Lieutenant Remy. Write your review, but it'll be panned by the populace. I'll make sure of that.
So, saying away the villain's speed, casting her last spell of invisibility to ride her bicycle away unseen into the ether. But is she wrong? All right, will anybody read Lutin's article? And what has become of the engineer? Can this ginger-haired reporter save the reputation of a grouchy, disgraced old man with a particularly foul mouth, a Scottish accent, and a fondness for alcohol? Will the engineer start smoking a pipe, sailing ships, and wear a blue sweater to make the joke more obvious? Find out none, some, all of these answers next time in Toonkind D&D!